Hello my favorite people, this is the third freaking video I'm filming right now in the sitting, so we're just gonna get right into it. Today we're gonna be reacting to Akala, Fire in the Booth Part 4. Something y'all have been asking for months since I started doing the UK rap reactions, so I'm excited. And the fact that it's Black History Month, bitch! Perfect! Subscribe if you're new here, like the video, DM me over on Instagram any video requests that you have, and here we go into Akala, Fire in the Booth Part 4. I'm ready to be elevated. Here we go. Wait, did y'all want Part 4 or Part 1? Hold on, let me go check. Oops. Hell, I don't know. Let's start off with Part 1 because that makes sense. We'll go in order. Mm. Is it freestyle?
I like you. You're like a tiger. Yes, I grew up an adult in a single parent family. Been through a little bit of tragedy. Yes, I was around drugs and violence before the day that I started secondary. That's part of it, not half of it. Get the picture, the rest ain't necessary. Growing up, got a little caught up. That ain't even half of my life.
Okay, and that's a part of it, not half of it. Get the picture, the rest ain't necessary. So basically, just from those few bars about growing up around violence in the ends, you get the full picture. He doesn't have to go into every detail of his traumatic upbringing.
Half of it, get the picture, the rest ain't
Relatable.
Growing up, got a little caught up. That ain't even half of my life. Also given the knowledge of self, that is all we actually need to survive. If you saw me, age 9, reading Malcolm, just fine. Teachers still treated me stupid. Students that couldn't speak English, they put me in groups with. The irony is, some of the first man to give me schooling.
Wait a minute. Students that couldn't speak English, they put me in groups with. On some racist stuff, or they wanted him to teach the students who couldn't speak English. The teachers wanted him to teach them. Teachers still treated me stupid, but if you can understand the words of Malcolm X at 9 years old, you're not stupid, I'll tell you that.
Stupid students that couldn't speak English, they put me in groups with. The irony is, some of the first man to give me schooling, you were called gangsters. How you already explained that we know what the truth is. They used to say, don't be like me. Say I got a name and dough on the street. Nighttime comes, I can't sleep. It's the part that rappers don't speak. We don't hit the boat cause we're thugs. Don't come out the room, wanna sell drugs. If we got
Exactly. They glorify what you can get from that street life, but having that street life is no one's dream. No one wanted to be, that's not a career. You end up there because of circumstance. It's not something you aspire to be. Just like y'all were saying, like my roadmen reactions, it's not a character. It's actual, it's actual people, and I don't want to use the word terrorize because that's a bit dramatic, but they're not good people, basically.
guidance and love would we fight people just like us? How can I not the hustle to get by? How do you think I ate as a child? Judge no one, done many things wrong. Just don't boast about it in songs, but listen to my older bars. I was just as confused as you probably are, but
his flow is insane. First of all, how are you not getting tongue-tied? And the way he drags out some of the words to match to continue the flow.
when you learn, travel, cut, one too many man, you know, get caught. One too many man that could have been doctors, end up spending the whole life boxed up. You learn if you study, so set out just to make them money. No cover, it's all about getting poor people to fight for one another.
Damn, you learn if you study, it's all set out just to make them money. He's talking about class breakups and economics and capitalism, how literally the poor get poor and the rich get richer. Holy sh! But before that, he talked about, again, growing up in the area and basically becoming, what's the word? You're a product of your environment, basically. Literally. You learn if you study, it's all set up just to make them money. No cover, it's all about getting poor people to fight with one another. Dang. And you know what I was thinking too? I don't know if this is the case over in the UK. I know Stormzy has some beef with people. But over here, they were saying, why is it the only millionaires you know that are killing each other are the rappers? And for the most part, rappers in America are people who grew up in the same way that Akala did. You know, they come from the ghetto, the hood, the trenches. They come up, have a bunch of people to take care of, and instead of them all just trying to prosper and build up their community, it turns into beef, and which then turns into death. They're the only ones doing that. The only people with money killing each other are rappers. I don't understand that. Maybe it's because that's all they know, and you can't take the hood out of the millionaire, I guess you could say.
If you study, so set out just to make them money. No cover. It's all about getting poor people to fight for one another. So it's logically that us killing our
Perfect.
brothers, dissing our brothers is right in line with the dominant philosophy of our time. But time is a cycle, not a line. Comes back around, you regain your mind. You be ready for the energy I challenge in my mind.
This is ridiculous. When does he breathe? How? Jesus. He must have like a strong lungs. I bet you he could hold his breath underwater for like a minute. That's insane.
Fight for one another, so it's logically that us killing our brothers, dissing our mothers is right in line with the dominant philosophy of our...
That's my thing. Dissing our mothers. Why is it the only... I shouldn't say the only people. But most of the time, when you see hate towards black women, it's coming from black-ass dudes. Hello, you're dissing your mother. You hate black women. Guess what? Your sister, your cousins, your mother, your aunts, they're all black women. What do you have against us? I don't get it. It's weird.
But time is a cycle, not a line. Comes back around, you regain your mind. You be ready for the energy I challenge in my mind. Remedy the pedigree, the jeopardy, your mind when the world...
Renegade, the pedigree, the jeopardy? Holy shit! Cut that out, Favour, when you edit this. The rhyme scheme is insane. Remedy the pedigree?
You regain your mind, you be ready for the energy I challenge in my mind. Remedy the pedigree, the jeopardy, your mind when the world is... Liabilities a crime. We can all fight when the brothers overcome.
Wait, the vocabulary. He said legrity is the crime.
Challenge in my mind. Remedy the pedigree.
Lethargy. Alexa, what does lethargy mean?
The adjective lethargic is usually defined as of, relating to, or affected with lethargy, drowsy, sluggish, apathetic. For more, ask me to give you more...
Alexa, enough. So she said empathetic, sluggish. When the world's this effed up, being sluggish, lazy is a crime. Remedy the pedigree, the jeopardy of my... Hold on. Remedy the pedigree, the jeopardy of mine. When the... Why am I talking like this is a poem? That's really deep, and I'm sure if I kept trying to go into it, I can understand it, but someone just explain it down below. We don't got time for that. We're already 8 minutes in, bitch.
Put in your mind when the world is... Liabilities a crime. We can all fight when the brothers overcomes. Harder to fight the one who makes guns. We can all talk shit, get $2. Harder to be the one who seeks knowledge. If we understood the economics with no money's nothing. Think nothing of...
If we don't know... How do you have time to think of some, like, just these little spices into the words when you're trying to say all these big words? Lethargy, economics, prodigy. And he still has time to say, instead of just saying prodigy, he's going to say prodigy. Akala. But then again, he's freaking reading Malcolm X at 9 years old, so I can't be that surprised.
$2. Harder to be the one who seeks knowledge. If we understood the economics with no money's money is a means to get wealth. Not the wealth itself, and don't get confused. Far from broke. All you see me do, I...
Money is a means to get wealth, not the wealth itself. Okay, so to be on the route of getting money is how you get to wealth, but it doesn't make you wealthy. Is what I think he's saying.
Get wealth. Not the wealth itself, and don't get confused. Far from broke. All you see me do, I own, but I won't hang what I make around my neck. I know from where the diamonds came.
Before he even gets into that, talking about what's the word? Resources from Africa, basically forcing the underprivileged to do that for you, to mine diamonds and all that stuff. I don't know if he's gonna get into it, but if he does, holy crap. But yeah, it's such a waste of money. Don't be out here buying expensive clothes. That's so stupid. Why are you spending $700 on a black Givenchy shirt? Get one from Walmart for $5. You know, designer clothes. I can't really talk because I really like cars. So if I had money, I'd be buying cars. But diamonds around your neck. It's all depreciating. It's a waste of money. Instead, put your money into something that can make you even more money. That's how I think of it anyway.
You literally own a library that definitely costs more than your chain. And businesses and property far from starving. I eat quite properly and I don't care.
Exactly.
You need to know you're not broke to listen. Don't know what asset from...
And I don't care, just said it for the kids who need to know that you're not broke to listen. Don't know an asset from a liability. Oh, exactly. They are a liability. Because if I wreck this car that I just spent I didn't really spend this amount of money. But say I buy a car for $100,000 and I wreck it. Where's that money? Do I get it back? No. A waste of $100,000. But if I invest $100,000 into the stock market, into property, into land, invested into something, that money could be doubled, or I could be benefiting someone else's life building a business, something, investing it into YouTube with whatever equipment. Again, building yourself up again instead of just throwing money away. It's smart.
Ability, they never been shown or told the difference, so they don't change situation. Richest man in Britain is Asian, that's significant, not coincidence. Asian people build businesses not by flossing.
But I thought that was racist to say. Is Asians build businesses? Yeah, we see Asians mainly doing nail care, donut shops, sushi places. I'm kind of confused by that. I thought that was, like, legitimate. I thought it was like, oh, you're racist. You think only Asian people can do these jobs. But maybe they're actually trying just to build generational wealth by having their own family business. I don't know. I'm lost on that one. And I don't want to get into it because I don't want to offend any Asian viewers I may have. Let me know. If you're an Asian, comment down below your opinion.
Going out shopping, giving up the culture for everyone's profit. Who runs Bollywood? Indian people. Who runs our fish? So we shake our ass and dance as if racism just upped and vanished. But has it? No, it's right on course. You're beaten so bad you train to ignore. Let me not just make sweeping statements. Give me a second. I'll explain.
I know you'll explain it, Akala. Ooh, the R word. Hold on. I don't know if I'm ready for this.
And so bad you train to ignore. Let me not just make sweeping statements. Give me a second. I'll explain. For small amounts of drug possession, there's more black people in jail in America than there is for rape and armed robbery and murder all put together.
I was watching a Jubilee video about there was a trial of whether a mass shooter should get life in prison or the death sentence. And there were people making excuses about mental health, how he needs to be rehabilitated, all this jazz. But I was thinking, even not just in a hypothetical sense, we've actually had those scenarios happen, and we've seen what happens to those individuals who do those crimes. They get put into mental hospitals. Instead of using the word thug, the media wants to call them a good boy who went to Juilliard, who was on the swim team, but they don't actually talk about what crime happened. But now, put the shoe on the other foot. For example, Black Lives Matter. Everyone was a thug. It wasn't a protest. It was riots, and that was the only thing. It's just, you can see the contrast of the way certain things are described. And it's really disgusting. But again, you're talking about a country that was founded on slavery and still doesn't want to acknowledge its history. So what can you really expect from America?
Together, you can say they're just rocking up tugs. Imagine they're in prison, every middle class kid that had ever held drugs.
Period!
Bigger than that, what is going on with this prison?
So only one person can be characterized as a thug when multiple different races are doing it. Okay, I see what you're doing.
It's private business to get paid 50k per year per inmate by the state. Just wait, also legally are allowed to use their prison inmates as slaves. Cheap slave labor, big corporations, they come out of jail when they can't get a job. So when we celebrate going to jail, we are literally celebrating enslavement. Add to that, that's the hood that you live in. Engineered social condition that breeds crime by design. Where do you think you get your... Yeah, you can say that they're just black, but I like to deal with facts. In the 1920s, you would have found in America black towns.
Okay. And for Chicago, for instance, everyone knows about O Block, and I don't want to get too deep into gang violence up there, but people have been saying for years, why doesn't some rapper who's grown up from O Block and has a bunch of money now, why don't they just buy it and reinvest their money into the block, make it a safe place, make it to where people don't just have time to sit around and kill each other? And they were saying it's because the owners of O Block don't want to sell.
Centers of economics to education to make you proud. But some people couldn't bear that the former slaves would not just lie down to the KKK and other hate groups. Burn those towns to the ground, killing hundreds if it ain't understood. You think you were always living in the hood? It's only been 60 years since the hung blacks and burned them, and that was so cool. They were your past picnic baskets, even gave kids the day off school. Go see a lynching, have a picnic, it's fun to watch the little monkeys die.
60 years. Barely even 60 years. Holy... oh my god, I'm gonna be honest, the more you hear about it, and I've said this before in one of my reactions, like, the actual graphicness of slavery and black life in America over the decades, and especially today, you guys thought the Black Lives Matter movement was this huge thing. Imagine how life was back then, 60 years ago. And I don't think it's gotten any better. If anything, we haven't moved forward or it's gotten worse. And I feel like there's a part of me that's always like, not every white person or anyone not of color is bad. But at the same time, I can't help but to be cautious around people who aren't black, definitely. And also, there's a little bit of resentment. Yeah. Resentment. Yeah.
But act a little dysfunctional. You wanna pretend that you don't know why. If your colour means you can be killed and you're powerless to get justice about it. Is it difficult to figure out how you would then end up feeling about it? And that ain't excuses.
And I feel like that's the best way to describe these riots everyone was talking about. It wasn't that they wanted to fucking, excuse my language, oh my. It wasn't that they wanted to loot and burn down. In fact, not every protester was even doing that. But it's like, after you've been saying the same thing for years, decades, 60 years, we've been saying the same stuff. No one's listening. At what point do you just say, all right, forget it, tear the town down? Not me trying to justify it, but it's kind of just like, I don't blame them.
With the roots of abuses that make a reality. We're a generation of young men speak of ourselves as dirt. Casually, that's America, this Britain. Something similar, some different. In this country,
I like that flow. That's America, this Britain's. Oh, one thing. I always see a bunch of people in my comment section talking about, oh, race is more of just an American thing. Race is not an issue over here in Britain. But then I see the British black people in my comment section saying otherwise. So I think before y'all just say race and racial issues are just an American thing, put yourself in a black British person's perspective. Why don't you go ask them what they think before you just, I don't know. It's not just an American thing is my point. Y'all definitely have your own issues and you should ask someone what their experience is. Leanne Pinnock, for example, has already spoken on it many times.
as dirt, casually, that's America, this Britain. Something similar,
Something different.
In this country, the first enslaved were the working class. What's changed? Worse jobs, worse conditions, most tax. Look where you live and yet you go to the pub. Friday night, you will fight with a guy, don't know what for, won't fight with a guy. Shooting a tie who send your kids to die in a war.
Oh, he's speaking on like y'all's government. Okay. Again, I can't really speak on that. I'm going to do a reaction to Brexit pretty soon, but I don't really know much about y'all's government or your, stuff like that.
And the kids of the rich of the politician, it's your kids, the poor British. They're saying to go and die in a foreign land for these wars that you don't understand. Yeah, they say you are British, and that lovely patriotism they feed you, but in reality you have...
Oh, how the tables have turned. Patriotism for being British, and that's why you go and fight. Same thing can be said about America. We're over patriotic and over nationalistic, but y'all use the same rhetoric to get your impoverished to go fight for your wars. T, is Akala lying? Are you bold enough to say Akala's wrong? Chime in the comments.
We're in common with immigrants, thing with your leaders, I know. Both sides of my family, black and white, a fed ghetto mentality, reality in this system. Poor people dirt regardless of shade.
That's another thing. I don't think it's just you're a product of your environment. I also think if you're told for your entire life that this is what you amount to, at some point you're going to actually believe that.
That said, let's not pretend that everything is the same. When
Everything
our
is
grandparents came here
the
to
same.
Britain, if you had a criminal record, you couldn't get in. That ain't protected from all of the stupid abuses they will be living. Kicked in the teeth, stabbed in the streets, many times firebombed our houses, put feces through our letterbox, and of course the cops did so much about...
Okay, so in a way y'all had your own segregation and civil rights movement. Jeez, the world is so messed up.
Daily, up to the...
Coon baby! Hold on.
Firebombed our houses, put feces through our letterbox, and of course the cops did so much about it. Daily, up to the 80s, people spitting on my palm because I was a coon baby. But of course, that has had no effect on why today we are crazy. And none of this was for any good reason. They were just dark and breathing to ease the guilt now for all of this treatment, constant stereotypes and needed to...
Oh my god. I don't know if he's talking about... I think he's talking about his growing up in his parents' life in Britain. And again, y'all were saying, we don't have a race problem in Britain, that's just an American thing. Look in the mirror, sir, before you come in my comment section with that again.
Celebrate how big that might hit the bricks that are flipping, bricks that are sticking.
So if I celebrate how big that might... Oh my. Bricks that I'm flipping. Black stereotypes. Well, I guess the size thing is not a stereotype. But let's not get into that.
I'm playing my position, but if I teach a kid to be a mathematician, messing with the schism, how they gonna fill a prison when materialism is no longer our religion?
Hold on. Akala and Eminem, Imagine them together on a track. That'd be, my head would explode. Again, when does he breathe? How does his tongue not get tied up? And I'm pretty sure he did this live.
Play my position, but if I teach a kid to be a mathematician, messing with the schism, how they gonna fill a prison when materialism is no longer our religion? What do you think we got now in Britain? Just like America, private prison for profit. That mean when your kids go jail, people make money off it, so keep environments that breed crime, build more jails at the same time.
Okay, people have been saying more and more that we shouldn't have private prisons, which I completely agree with, because if it's private, it can't be regulated by the government, and not to say that the government is great, but there's accountability that can be held when it is run by the government, a public prison. And also, who pays for private prisons? Is it on the tax dollar of the citizens? I'd assume not. And who are these people that he's saying are profiting money-wise off of people going to prison? A lot that I have to look into and learn about, because I feel like I'm ignorant to a lot of it.
Get badness to the kids in the rhymes. Long as rich kids ain't dying, it's fine. Get them to the point where some are so lost they actually believe if they don't celebrate killing themselves off. That it's because they're soft. Was Malcolm soft? Was Marley soft? Tell me, was Marcus Garvey soft? Well, was Muhammad Ali soft? Nah. I think not, but they want us to think that the road is cool. Being on road is all we can do. We don't control the wholesale production.
Being on road is all we can do. Again, it's like being fed this narrative that this is what you are, this is where you belong. So you're gonna grow up and believe that.
Think not, but they want us to think that the road is cool. Being on road is all we can do. We don't control the wholesale productions. Who benefits from us moving the food? All thinking there's no way out of road life. But Malcolm X used to hustle on the roadside. And Marcus Garvey organized more than 6 million people with no Facebook or Twitter. Why is it something you can't eat? Ish. One of my own homeboys did a 10 straight in the boxing yard. Now what's he doing? Passing his doctorate. Don't tell me that it's too hard.
Good job to you, sir.
Inferior Songbo Ebedo in Nigeria are the remains of it.
What about Nigeria? Excuse me. Nigeria? Sungbo Irado in Nigeria are in the remains of an ancient moat. Oh shoot. Okay, he's talking about some slavery or something. Who traded you to believe that you're inferior? Sungbo Irado in Nigeria are the remains of an ancient moat dug 1,000 years ago, 20 meters wide, 70 down. Oh god.
Don't tell me that it's too hard. Who trained you to believe it inferior? Songbo Ebedo in Nigeria are the remains of an ancient moat dug 1,000 years ago, 20 meters wide, 70 down. Round the remains of an ancient town that's 400 square miles around. 400 square miles around. Please don't believe me. It was a
documentary on BBC, but we ain't studying history. Too busy watching MTV. Okay, I gotta learn. What was that? And I'm freaking Nigerian, and I don't know. I'll ask my mom.
Ancient moat dug 1,000 years ago, 20 meters wide, 70 down. Round the remains of an ancient town that's 400 square miles around. 400 square miles around. Please don't believe me. It was a documentary on BBC, but we ain't studying history. Too busy watching MTV. And MTV said wear platinum. Now everybody wanna go and wear platinum. And MTV said pop magnums. Now everybody wanna go and pop magnum. And MTV said drink.
Who's listening to MTV? If you're doing what MTV says, that's a reflection of you, buddy. That's just dumb. What? I watch reality TV because sometimes it's nice to not have to think. Like I'm sorry, I couldn't do Akala all day, every day. I have a headache already just from this reaction. Sometimes I want to watch MTV or reality shows, whatever, just because it's a nice break from reality to be able to just watch stupidity. That's really what it is.
You can start hearing that in tune soon. Hey, today I wore my car, yeah. Is it now more important what I got to say? Oh, and I drive a Mercedes, by the way, so everybody listen to what I got to say.
Yeah.
Does that make you all happy? But my head's still nappy. Think for myself. So
but my head's still nappy. Dang. So regardless of how much money, how successful you get, you're still black, buddy. So you're still a failure. At least that's how society looks at it.
On the mic, not one bothers me. All of this here's good for the rhymes. Put us in the same place at the same time, and it's clear to everybody on my mind. Some of these guys are running out, and it rhymes clear to everybody. Those got ears. I'm the guy that they just might fear that they want to. Yeah, I've actually even started doing this. Like my favorite rappers, DaBaby, Lil Baby, Gunna, NBA YoungBoy, Drake. I started when I listen to the songs, I'll be hearing the bar, and then it's either women, drugs, violence. Literally, just over and over, especially DaBaby. And I love his flow. I like how bouncy his music is. But his lyricism is just the same over and over again. It gets so dumb. Literally, start listening to music, especially rap music, and see what the topics are. Break down, categorize the lyrics.
It will just either be violence, guns, you know, all that stuff, drugs, or women and sex. That's it. It's so unfortunate.
Near, but it can't ever appear all there. I'm hard liquor, you just like beer. Front on the kids for another 5 years. Come to my shows and some cry tears. Mean that much to 'em. It's a movement. I don't speak for myself, but a unit. Black, white, man, woman. Anyone who respects truth, we put in.
Black, white, man, woman. He did that same like bounciness with Britain, U.S. Some the same, some are different. I like that.
They're like no dinner, we're just pudding. Yeah, you're sweet, but no something pudding. You can never ever be with a level on. Our songs get played out there in Lebanon. We speak for the people properly, not for the old fact.
Our songs get outplayed out, huh? Oh, I thought he was talking about being censored in Lebanon. My bad.
Eyes in offices and the girls love him. It ain't fair, you can't even be bothered to comb his hair. Anyway, that's enough kissing my own ass. Back to the more important task of being so shower. I got half the hood screaming, knowledge is power.
Good for you, Akala. So, is he from Lebanon? I thought he said his dad's black, his mom is white. Do y'all consider... Oh, am I stupid? Alexa, what continent is Lebanon? The bitch can't hear me. Okay. Is it in the Middle East or Africa? Genuine question. Don't clown me. It's been a long time since I took geography.
I ain't saying that'll change that, but I do know this for a fact. Right now there's a you on your block with his hands on his boot, straight screwed up. So he don't care, don't give up, that he won't let nobody caught his block, but the words go in. Open your shack up, as once that's happened, there is no going back. Would you stop to see what is really happening? Who the enemy you should be attacking is. So read, stop on the block, read, sitting in the...
I like how he like emphasizes that too. Knowledge is power, not how much weight you have on road, buddy. No one's gonna remember you for being the best drug pusher on your block. They're gonna be embarrassed about you. Get knowledge, do something better with your life. Get out of that environment. Want better for your children, your family. Read, like Akala said.
Read, don't let them say what you can achieve. Because when people are enslaved, one of the first things they do is stop them reading. Because it is well understood.
Whew! Can we talk about it though? What was one of the things you couldn't do when you were a slave back in the day? You couldn't do your own religion because they didn't want you to have a sense of community or hope for getting a better life. You weren't allowed to congregate in church with each other, and you weren't allowed to read or vote. Knowledge is power, period.
Intelligent people would take their freedom. Because if we knew our power, we would understand we can't be held down. If we knew our power, we would not elevate not one of these clowns.
If we knew our power. Okay, I don't want to... This is a long reaction. This is kind of what's making me think of, like, everybody likes the idea of blackness, but nobody wants to be black. The music, the hair, the style, the way we speak stereotypically, all aspects of blackism, stereotypes, everyone loves. Everyone wants to appropriate. But whenever it gets time to actually be a black person and take all the crap that comes with from society, government, systemic oppression, nobody wants to deal with that. That's when you run back and clutch your pearls.
Our power, we wouldn't get arrogant when we get 2 pennies. If we knew our power, we would see what everybody sees, that we're rich already.
That's a big thing. I feel I can only speak of this because I'm a black woman myself, but every black girl has a moment where they feel like you are not enough, you're the bottom of the barrel, nobody wants you, and you're worthless. But I don't know when it happens, but at some point it clicks, and it's just like, you cannot touch me. I don't know if that's an arrogant thing, you can call it whatever you want, but when that moment happens, it is just... like, your eyes are just wide open, like, all this crap that I've been taught to hate about myself is actually popping. And now these bitches go to the doctor to get it. Lip injections, fillers, butt fillers, all this stuff that I was taught growing up that was disgusting about myself. Everybody wants to emulate. And then it's just like, what can you say to me now? I like, whatever.
My MCs go run for your mummy. I'm hungry, I run for my tummy. That's enough. Back to worshiping money. I'm off, back to the sun.
Oh my god, back to worshiping money. He really... Oh, my laptop's about to die. It cut off because the reaction was so long. I hope you guys liked the video. If anything I said offended you, I'm sorry for you being offended, but I spoke my truth. I spoke what I wanted to say. So, yeah. Bye!